Welcome to Billy Review Stuff, where I review stuff. Today I'm looking at Defenders of Eden, Armies of Ashmore, VASAPO, the Royal Guard. This was from the Kickstarter for Armies of Ashmore. I got this from Matthew Rodriguez of Ideas from Mars. I saw him at Legion's Con. I bugged him about these figures, about them coming in, and that I wanted to review them. And I was lucky enough that he sent me 2 figures and 2 head packs to review. This first one is VASAPO, named after Joe Vasapolo of the Four Horsemen Studios. I am so ecstatic to mess around with this. So I've already started messing around with it. I'm going to go over what you need to do to it out of the package, because you do need a little bit of assembly with it, and my thoughts on the figure itself, because this is the final version of the figure that you will be getting in Q1 of 2025 if you did the Kickstarter or if you ordered from Big Bad Toy Store. Obviously, Kickstarter backers will get theirs first. Afterwards, Big Bad Toy Store orders will be fulfilled, and I'm ecstatic to mess around with this guy. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share this out there so people can see this figure, because it is awesome to mess around with so far. But let me get him off the stand and let's take a closer look at VASAPO. Now again, this is the final production figure. This is the exact figure that you will be getting, this exact paint scheme, etc. So let's just go over accessories first. Now, with him, he does come with an extra thing of shoulder pauldrons here. These are the ones that are on Kuzo and other figures there. They have where they go into the holes on his back. Once I take that off, we'll go back to these. He comes with extra hands. He has the vertical hinged weapon holding hands. 2 of those. And then he has 2 horizontal hinged gesturing hands for, gesturing, reaching out, coming at you. Love it. And then he also has his weapon here. Now it has where you can pull the pieces off there. It comes unassembled. You push them together. It's easy peasy. Just like that. They hold pretty well. And it also goes on his back here. Goes in, you slide it down a little bit, and it gets snug there, and it stays on. Perfect. Take that off. Set it over there. Now, out of the package, you have to put his plates on his armor. Now, these will be separate in there. They have their own little tray, and each one, pull this off here, each one has a unique mold design to it. So it has a spot that it needs to go, and it has where it has the female port to it of that mold shape to match up to. And this is how it comes. They are snug. They do stay in, but it has been suggested that you can glue them in if you want to. If they came glued in, it would be, a little bit more space in the box taken up, and they wouldn't have a uniform box. So I can understand this. And then also, you take this off, pop off that way. So you're messing with them that way. So it's recommended. Just match up where they go. Take your time. Just put just a dab of super glue on there. Stick it in there. Boom. Let it sit. You're golden. If that's what you want, I'm okay with them being removable, because no matter what, if you don't have something in a static pose like this on your shelf, and even then sometimes with a door slamming or a draft, a shake of the shelf, any kind of thing, a figure can fall into it. So that's my thoughts on it. Glued if you want to. I'm okay with it not being glued in. Neat. Now, next to his helmet has where it just goes on top of his head right there. It has a little peg into it that goes into the groove, which I do love how they did the tolerance on these necks, because it's easier to get them off, and it still has that movement. It feels secure. Now with his head there, it has a little spot in the top right there. It matches up, so you can put the helmet onto him securely. And this is a hard plastic here. I wouldn't mess with this hard. I wouldn't squeeze it hard. It has where it's hard plastic. Don't break it. pull that off right there. Easy peasy. And the heads, because like there's a head pack, the heads are easy to swap out. They just pop on there and boom, you got your head there. Now, next I'm going to take off his armor. His armor has 2 spots on it. This has where it's the across the board kind of thing on there, where they just have where they pop into these holes right here. Make it a bit of easy. There we go. And then you just remove the head and you can take off his armor. Look at that. Plates didn't even fall out. Nice. Now on his back here, he has those holes for that shoulder armor. And just like Mythic Legions, it just has where it pops in there. A little wiggle. And I put the wrong shoulder podger on there. Smooth Billy. But you can just pop it in there. Boom. Now he has that shoulder armor on there. He doesn't have the matching kind of armor to go with this. So it's kind of up to you whether you want to put them on there or not. You want to customize them. You want to paint them. You want to swap them out with other stuff to do different patterns, things like that. It's up to you. It's kind of an extra. Now, the next thing to swap out with this guy is his fists. So this is, again, this out of the package here. It's in the 40s here. I've moved him around and messed with him some, warmed up a little bit. So it's actually very easy to pull these out, but they stay in there snug. So I like that. I like that about them right there. His fists also have where they are the horizontal hands. Then you just take the other one, push it in there, and now he's got gesturing hand. Nice and easy to work with. All right, so let's get his fist back in there. Let's get this fist. Put the fist back in there. Boom. Pop his head back on. We're going to go over articulation next on this guy. Now that before I get into articulation thoroughly, I just wanted to say this figure does have where it's set up to have where it's easy to swap out the heads, since there is a head pack for it that has where it's the other Saurian heads of the Armies of Ashmore done in this color scheme to easily swap out with. Now, that being said, the head does stay on there very well, because I have freaking gorilla hands from the comments on one of my videos last year, and it's staying on there. Now, when I go to move it around, it does have where when I go to pose it, it can pop off if I push the joint far enough. But it's not like I feel like I'm messing with it, or it's just like, it just has where it's easy to pop off, but it does not fall off. As you can see, the head is still on there. Now, on to articulation. So, he has a double ball here and a double ball there. So, check this out. He can look up so far. He can look down incredibly far with this double ball here. This is a lot of articulation in a neck with just 2, I guess you would count technically 4 points. I wasn't expecting this. Now, he can look to the left an insane amount there and match it on the right, obviously. And you can twist it all the way around. His head also twists all the way around. And then, again, it's easy to pop the head off, though, but it doesn't fly off if I shake it off and everything. So I like that that's easy to do, so you don't need to heat it up. You don't need to submerge it in water. This only works on certain parts of certain figures. I think it's very well done on this figure here. Now, getting to his shoulders, he has normal shoulders. He does not have a butterfly here to cut into the sculpt, so he has that big, muscular dinosaur build there. So he has a hinge that goes up so far. Twists around all the way. At the bicep, he has a twist right there. It can go all the way around. It gets a little snug in spots, but it doesn't have where it's like, it feels like I'm fighting it. Like it's not supposed to go there. He also has where he has a hinge, a hinge at the elbow, but he also has a twist at the elbow. So you can go all the way around there because it's actually the shoulder going into the elbow that kind of like, was that a peg in that way? And then really this is just spinning right here, but it doesn't have where it free spins. So I like that. Now, the hinge at the elbow has where it doesn't have a 90 exactly, but it does have where it hinges there, and he has where he's large enough to move around. So it's like, give and take there. It does hinge back, so his arm does go basically completely straight there. He has a hinge at the wrist, twist at the wrist. Did I go over how easy it is to swap his hands? Yes, I did go over that, but I'm going to go over it again just in case. Pop. Pop. Didn't heat it up. Easy to go. And it stays in there snugly. Now, to his torso. He has a ball up here, a ball down there. So he can go standing. Let me put his arms up so it's easier to see there. Standing straight. Leaned back, and let me just go ahead and kick his neck back too, and just see how far he can really. You can really get that going back there. That's a lot of back. And going as far forward as I can get him, manhandling him, because now I've crunched down. Get that straight. It's an OCD thing there, really. Get that straight there. So I've covered up one set of his abs there. It's gone this far forward, and then with the neck, again, easy to take off. The neck, he can look crazy far down. That's so neat. I just like how much you can move there. But you can see how much that goes there. Covers up that set of abs. Getting down to his hips. His hips are ball jointed hips. Now, out of the package and messing with it, they had where they were very creaky. If you watch the Ride Over video from Dorklayer, they are very creaky. They didn't feel like they were stressing out the bar going across there. But I did have where I put a single tiny applicator. Needle point applicator there. Drop of silicone shock all on there, just to move it around, just to take away that creak some. It still has where it holds very well. He's not swinging back and forth. It still holds very well. It just has where it creaks a little bit less. It still has where it's holding very well. Now, he can kick so far forward, so far back because of the tail there. His legs can splay out this far. He has a twist at the top of the hip, and it really does move a fair amount for that, because that's the knee basically facing inward that way, and then facing outward, straight outward. That is just outward there. So there's a lot of movement there. With his tail, it's on a double ball there. This came unassembled. You have to heat it up and just push in there. I used a heat gun for it, so it was easy to do there. Just don't heat up this plastic too much, because this is a softer plastic and I don't want you to accidentally melt it. So if you use a hair dryer, you should be fine. If you submerge them in some hot water, it should be fine to pop this tail on. Go so far that way with both hinges there. And can go so far this way. So far up. And so far tucked down. At his knees. He can't go quite to a 90, but you can still get movement out of there for poses and stuff like that. He has a twist at the knee. Nothing down through here, no kind of boot cut. Then he has hinges at the feet. He can go so far down. So far up. And then he does have the ankle rocker there. So it's not a ton, but it's good enough for a large figure like this. So he doesn't have where he's falling over or anything like that, but he has enough so he can stand and have a little bit of action pose right there. Next, I want to go over the heads pack, because the heads pack that he comes with is the heads pack that you can buy separately is the Royal Head Pack. Now, let's move on to that. Now, With the Armies of Ashmore Royal Head Pack, it has where it's paint matched to match his armor and match his skin tone. Now, what I was told with the Royal Head Pack and with the heads, with the Milwick head right here in particular, he is a head and then 3 segments. If you see the Milwick figure, you should also have some pictures thrown up here. The 3rd segment is not in this copy right here. With everyone who ordered through Backer Kit and through Big Bad Toy Store, etc., that extra piece will be in this package in a separate baggie behind the plastic insert there. So it will be with yours. I don't have it with mine, so I can't put this Milwick head on here. But again, this is for review, and it's going back to Matt Rod. So thanks again, Matt Rod, and thanks for letting us know so everyone knows it's going to be in the package. But let's take a look at these heads a little closer of the Royal Head Pack. You didn't hear that? There we go. All right, so Milwick has where he looks awesome. That paint match to VASAPO is dope. He has where with his helmet on there, he can look up so far, look down so far there, look to the left so far, look to the right so far. His helmet is also removable. It has where it goes on like the other helmets in this line, a little square peg that goes in the top. It's not really noticeable unless you look directly down from the top. It goes on there easy, snaps in place. Awesome. Blossom. You know, I do it one time and then I can't do it again. Oh, this is my life. But he has a second segment right here. Go back so far. Go forward so far. Go to the side so far. Go to the side so far. It's a lot going on there. Now, he would have another segment in between here that would attach to the body there. So then we could have his neck on there. But I don't have that piece, so we're moving on. Rydor. This is Rydor's head sculpt done up for VASAPO. He has also where his helmet comes off there. And it doesn't have any kind of like square peg or anything like there. So you will not see that after the fact of taking this off. That is neat. I adore that. I like things being different. But he does look very good without it. That saurian head there. Blue eyes on here. Really neat. Let's see here. Up so far. Down so far. And see how easy it is to pop on here. Might need a little heat for this one. Nope, I think, nope. Yep, I'm going to need a little heat for this. I think, yeah, I'm going to need a little heat to pop it on there. This one's a little bit tighter than the VASAPO head. So, a little heat, pop it on there. But we're going to move on to the Kuzo head. Stay. Kuzo head has the same kind of paint matched armor there. I like how that looks. That's dope. Down so far. Pops off that far. Pops on that easy. Probably still going to need to heat that head to put on there. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. I forgot about that. It has where his helmet is actually on there and can kick up like this. I forgot about that. That's super cool. That same kind of peg goes on there. Then you have the VASAPO face there. Oop. You have the Kuzo face right there. Get my characters confused because this one, where it's easy to go in there. No, it is also going to be heat, need like heat from hair dryer to pop on there. So now you know when you get your heads pack what you need to know. Now let's move on. I'll get him armored back up, and we are going to take a look at some size comparisons. And I'll put the VASAPO head back on there. But I really do like how this Kuzo head looks. I like that armor. That's dope. That's dope. So here is VASAPO with Super 7 Destroya, a Mythic Legions Kurzog or Ogre scale figure, Dinosaur Battlefield Axie Toys King Bloodblade. I can't remember his name. He's got so many names. McFarlane Toys King Shark, Hero Toys Not Diablo, Mythic Legions Arakagor, Mythic Legions Ninian Infantry, and a standard size Marvel Legend Tracksuit Mafia guy. So do I think you need VASAPO of Armies of Ashmore in your collection? Again, this figure was sent to me by Matthew Rodriguez of Ideas from Mars, so I did not pay for this figure. When it came time for the Kickstarter, I had where I had backed it, but when it came time to pay for it, your boy was broke. So I had to pass on the Kickstarter, and I was sad that I did, but I did lock in pre-orders through Big Bad Toy Store. And having got this figure in hand and got to see the quality that these figures will be, I'm glad I did, because I would hate to miss out on any of these figures that I wanted. And I'm glad I had pre-ordered VASAPO, because he, I think, is my favorite colorway here and favorite dinosaur. I do want to make sure I do pick up the head pack for him in particular, so I can pop and swap some other dinosaurs out of him there. And I do want to pick up one of the weapons packs as well to mess around with him. Now, again, this was this figure was cheaper on backer kit, so you guys got in that like early backer price there. On Big Bad Toy Store, he is $75, I believe. Off the top of my head, I'll throw it up here if I'm incorrect. I think he is worth that price for a large figure like this, for the paint detail and for what he comes with. I do think you need to super glue in his plates for his armor there. That is like one thing that is like a little bit like, oh, you got to do that. His hips on the Kuzo that I was messing with, I have where I'm doing the other review for that separate. His hips weren't as tight as this, but they are as tight as it is now after I add the silicone shock oil to VASAPO here. So to each their own. When you get your copy, if it has where it's really tight and squeaking right there, do a drop of that. It seems like it's from like, you know, like either or. It just may have where it's just this figure here in particular, but it's not something that detracts from the figure itself. And again, I like the good tight joints on there. It doesn't feel like it's going to break. It just feels like it's not going to fall over unless, you know, a rotating table happens to randomly shake, because my rotating table is slowly starting to suck. But tell me what you think down below in the comments below. Do you need this figure in your collection? Where do you think it will fit in your collection? Because to me, it seems like it is very Motu inspired. That's what Defenders of Eden are. They have where they're very Motu. It's a very Motu inspired line and comic book. Armies of Ashmore has where it kind of falls in there. I also kind of see with it, just from the unique design of their armor, and again, like that kind of Motu look to it, you can also say this is like a space dinosaur. I had where I was listening to a podcast, Stardust Rhapsody from Legends of Vantress earlier, and that's where Saurians are in there, and I feel like this would be a good Saurian for that. Or, you know, if you had where you grew up with dino saucers, if you had where that, you know, like Rando Media had where it touched you there, you remember those, you saw some of those figures, it was rare as hell. I think this figure is for you. If you have where you like dinosaurs, this is a cool anthropomorphic dinosaur, and it's solid. You get what you pay for with this. It is a solid figure. But tell me what you think down below in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, tell me what you think of this guy. Is there any ideas that you have? Because one that I'm hoping, because there are, it is kind of like, you know, the same buck in different colorways. I hope to see like convention exclusive ones, and I really, really hope this like thought that I put out there, you know, goes into the universe and gets back to me. I would love to see a kind of like lava, cooled lava, kind of like, you know, like glowing lava, because there are a lot of cracks and wrinkles and just so much detail on this figure from the sculpt work from Four Horsemen Studios that I feel like that would be something that is really awesome and on theme with, you know, dinosaur, saurian, stuff like that. I would love to see that. Just put it out there, put it into the universe there, Matt Rod. But again, thank you so much. This has been an awesome kind of like Christmas surprise there. I'll see y'all in the next video. Later, guys.